All right, y'all. Welcome to episode 31 with Stone Soup for Contemporary and Future Descendants. My name is Brett, and I'm here with my big brother, Sean. Hey, Sean, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here. Good to see you.
Awesome. And my little brother, Grant, it's his birthday, by the way, on the day that we're recording. Happy birthday, Grant.
Thanks, guys. It's a birthday gift to be able to record this with y'all. That's for sure.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. I was hoping you'd say that. Let's see.
Because we didn't get you anything for your birthday.
Because this is your gift right here.
Solid.
Solid. Episode 31 is called The 31st Hour. And the idea that the theme was brought by me, and with a healthy dose of encouragement from Sean. It was an idea that we had early, it's an idea that I've had for a long time around, like, what happens during catastrophe, the way that we become more human, the way we become more willing to help each other. And up here in the mountains in Asheville, we just experienced Hurricane Helene in September, and that has been devastating, and the aftermath of that has been profound. Just the way that we've seen our community come back together, and the importance, what we decide are the things that are important have changed a little bit. And that's pretty profound. And I think that it's the idea around the 31st hour is that it's several hours after midnight, and where the day before was the catastrophe, the day of the catastrophe, the day of the event, the day of the whatever it was, the dark night of the soul. It could be a personal thing as well. That 31st hour is when dawn breaks. And so this is sort of the songs of rebuilding and reconciliation. And I'm excited to get you guys thinking and talking about it. So let's go to you, birthday boy. Tell us what your thoughts were on the 31st hour.
Yeah, I thought the theme was super inspiring. I won't say fun. It is always fun to do these projects, but inspiring to find kind of some different ways to interpret it, as we always do. And in my songs, well, first the playlist just had tons of powerful tracks. And I'm spending a lot of time on the road today. That's 2 seasons in Minnesota, winter and construction, and we are in the construction zone where I'm spending way too much time in the commute. But this track list of 9 songs was really kind of like a peaceful, yet inspiring, yet powerful reflection. And I think that's where in times of hardship, in times of catastrophe, you're coming together as a community. You're also searching internally. But like the lending a helping hand to everybody is kind of the theme here, and the role that music plays, the role that musicians play to deliver that and bring that community, I think is really, really where it got me kind of spinning about the importance of music in our lives and the community connection to it as well. So many powerful tracks on here. Really excited to dig in, and thanks for bringing the theme. I thought it was a great one.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Grant. Sean, let's come to you. Talk a little bit about the order too. If you want to say anything about that, it may be song specific, but thanks for doing the order. And again, thanks for the encouragement. It really helped get me over the line for this episode.
Yeah, happy to do it. And I think that, building on Grant's comments, not only because he's birthday boy, but just building on the comments, humans are wired for connection. I think that's part of what helps the theme come out is, you and I are talking about it. And when you go through something difficult, it makes it different and better to go through it with somebody and to stick together. So that's a lot of what seemed to resonate for me as I think about the theme is just, you can't control what happens to you, but all you really can do is control how you respond. And in the end, I think we are how we respond, especially since once you get your back against the wall, all the niceties or the facades or the other parts of the story that you tell yourself, a lot of times those get stripped back. Sometimes because you have to. If you've got 18 inches of water in your house, there's a different way that you go about dealing with that problem. You can't do it by yourself. You can't take all that drywall out. You have to have some help. And I think it just changes the way people come together, the way they support each other. So I appreciate the theme for many reasons, but that's one that really stands out to me. And one of my favorite coaches has this line. He says, "The most important thing is what happens next." So it's this kind of forward mindset of look forward. You can't change the past, and really you can't even really influence the future. All you really can do is be present right now, and a big part of that is embracing what's happening and doing it together. So there's a lot of parts to this playlist that tap on those emotions, and I'm happy for that. I'll tell you a little bit about the order as we go, but I will say that the order that you see now was the very first order that I picked, and I went back and tried to tweak it and make it better, and I just was never as happy as I was with the first one. And it's interesting the way it just kind of landed for me. Not that there's a perfect order or anything, but I ended up feeling good about the way the songs were ordered.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys and your sentiment around the 31st hour and that concept. Having helped to rebuild New Orleans after Katrina, we went down there and helped to build a church and a house, and then experiencing what I experienced here. I think that you guys are absolutely right that it does take a community to put it back together. Diana actually told me about a village in Africa that when they have a fight, it might be South America, when they fight, when a couple has a fight, they literally tear the roof off of their house. And then the next morning, the entire village comes and helps them put their roof back on. It's a little bit of a symbolism around, like, we are at odds with each other and we are going to disassemble, but then as a community, we're going to come together and help reassemble. And sort of feels like that's what happens. So with that, we're going to jump into the first track. This one was brought by me and ordered by Sean. It is Angel Snow's song called Who Am I, off the album Low, which is in 2021 release. For me, this song, I got introduced to Angel Snow earlier last year. She came to play at one of the local bars here. The guy that hosts these brings musicians in, and then he'll play with them. And so they'll learn some songs together and play, and he's an excellent musician, so there's always a high quality of musicianship that comes through. She's out of Nashville, and she's not as well known as I think she should be. I mean, she's an incredible artist, really smart songwriting, real easy to listen to, moving music. I mean, this song in particular has a kind of spiritual feel for me. It definitely, I had heard it before Helene, so I have a little bit of a less relationship with Helene and more some of the dark nights that I've experienced for myself and coming out on the other side of those, kind of chanting this song of I'm not done yet. I'm not ready to die, and I'm not dying yet. So I still want to know, who am I in the process of, like, what is all this teaching me right now, and what is it teaching me right now, and who am I right now? So I think that it's powerful that it's here at the top. Sean, I'd love to come straight to you, see if you can tell us about why this one landed right there at the top. Pretty powerful intro.
I agree. It was the intro that landed at the top. It's this sort of punchy staccato intro, almost like a marching band that is announcing their arrival. They often do that with a drum line and kind of a marching type beat. So that felt important, and it meant that this song immediately jumped to the top, and it was the first one that I placed. I also liked that it was a song from you, and you were the one that gave us the theme, so I liked that it started off that way. And then the song from there is so well crafted. I really like the harmonization vocally that happens in there. I assume that that's her voice that's layered many times over, but the chorus is so anthemic, and I think my favorite part is it's about maybe 2/3 of the way through. 2 minutes 45 seconds is what I wrote down, where all the instruments drop out and it's just the voices. And I mean, it almost feels like a gospel kind of moment where they kind of let it fly, and I love the way that feels. It just, I think, has a like an atmospheric piece to it, and really draws you in. So that's why I wanted it at the top, was kind of the announcing the arrival of the playlist. And then I thought this song definitely is an intention getter. It has the delicate guitar picking and lots of understated parts that go with it, but I just thought the tender parts of the question that she's asking, and some of the introspection that she's doing, along with this kind of driving beat of announcing the arrival, felt really artful. And I just wanted it at the top. It was something I felt like kicked us off in the right way.
Awesome. Well, I think it's a great spot. Grant, what you think about Angel Snow?
Yeah, way to go ordering it there. And as we always, enjoy the playlist ordering, I think the skill set there comes to life of you introducing it. When I don't do the order for these playlists, I typically wait till the order is set and then start experiencing the playlist that way. Because like you, when you're kind of tinkering with the order, you start to tend to experience it different ways until it settles. So I'm sort of the audience here for you setting the order. So when I first heard it the first time I heard it, was in my car, and I had the volume cranked up, and it was just all enveloping. And when I listened to it on the headphones, same kind of feeling, where it just felt like this warm and surround sound, like layered vocals. Just, it really was rich, is the word that comes to mind. I really like how it's who am I, not who I am, and I would reflect on that a lot. She repeats it a lot too, but the idea that if you extend that into extrapolate, if you will, to say, who am I to want all these things, or who am I to want to care about my stuff instead of my community or help others, versus the who I am sounds more like me caring about myself only, kind of in a selfish-ish way. I liked that. I probably am reading a lot into it, but like, that's what music does. And when we're sitting there in this introspective way, I don't want to die without knowing who am I. Super powerful. And I read on her biography that the album Low was really kind of COVID-inspired collection of songs. It talked about, weighted by the themes of loss and claustrophobia and reimagined trauma. I can see how that really comes out of her lyrics, and the power of the song, the bombastic kind of nature of the drums and the beat, and the loudness in a great way. And I like music when it's loud. We'll talk about that throughout the playlist, that having this playlist cranked up vibrated in like my body for the way you should feel it as well. Last thing I'll say is, and it didn't hit me till just now, but there reminds me of a movie, one of my favorite movies that Summer and I used to watch like every New Year's. It's called The Family Stone, with Craig T. Nelson and Diane Keaton and Sarah Jessica Parker. It's got a great cast. But there's a moment where the son is kind of changing love interests, and Diane Keaton and Craig T. Nelson, the parents, are having a conversation about, we think our son doesn't know who he is. Like, he's discovering himself, and he's probably in like his mid 40s in this movie. And so the idea that we're always kind of discovering, who am I? What is my role? What role in community do I play? What do I care about? What do I value? It just kind of resonated with me on that. And I'm only mentioning it because it spent all week trying to figure out what movie that's from, and Lightbulb, I finally got it. So thank you, Angel Snow, and thank you to Technical Difficulties for giving me an extra 10 minutes to figure that out.
Yeah, anytime. We'll set that up for you. Only on your birthday, though.
There you go, yeah.
Cool. Well, I love this reflection. I remember now, I'm glad you looked that up, Grant, about the album Low. I do remember it being about a response to COVID. Kind of, the way that a lot of musicians had their own isolated time frame to, some of them got to make incredible music like this song. So really potent, really powerful. Would love to give you all a listen. This is Who Am I by Angel Snow off the album Low, which was from 2021.